Hello everyone, thank you for joining us. Today we are going to take a world tour geopolitical world tour news. We are going to touch headlines in all continents. We're going to talk about deal, the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas, the efforts of Americans to try to get this deal done in Qatar, in Egypt, but Qatari officials and Turkey, even Egyptians are involved in these talks. We are also going to talk about the American government shutdown, which is causing disruptions at airports and flights cancellations. We are also going to see the situation in France, the geopolitical situation in France, how the government is collapsing. Now they are calling the president to resign. In Asia, we're going to see a trip that China is planning. The foreign ministry or foreign minister of the Chinese government, which is planning a trip to Pyongyang, North Korea, for their 80th military victory, things like that. So we are going to talk about that issue too, and also we are going to touch Africa. Going to see major development in Africa, Burkina Faso, Mali, because it is believed that there are some rebel groups that are turning in Ukraine from Africa, especially in Mali. So we're also going to touch the situation of U.S. president, or not U.S. president, but the USA ongoing war on cartels in the Caribbean. So we're going to see the regime of Maduro, because talks have been suspended between the United States and Maduro. So that is what we are going to talk about this evening in geopolitical world tour. So that's what we are going to analyze and talk about. Yeah, in the Middle East, peace deal optimism rise. Indirect talks between Israel and Hamas in Egypt, facilitated by the USA, Qatar, Turkey, have reportedly made significant headway. Deal very close. US President Donald Trump stated that negotiations to end the two-year war in Gaza are very close to a deal, even suggesting he might travel to a region by the end of the week if an agreement is reached. Encouraging signs. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Hamas officials both expressed optimism about the discussions, which center on the US-backed peace plan. Key issues in focus. While Hamas has reportedly agreed to a ceasefire and hostage for prisoners exchange, with mediators targeting a first-phase deal by Thursday, key sticking points remain. These include the full disarmament of Hamas, the timeline for an Israeli troop withdrawal from Gaza, and the creation of an international body to govern the territory afterward. To the Americas, now where there is a shutdown, the geopolitical pressure the ongoing US government shutdown is having both domestic and international consequences. While the administration signals a tougher stance on foreign policy, global air traffic disruption risk, the US government shutdown, now in its second week, is causing traffic control staffing shortages and is slowing takeoffs at several US airports. Industry analysts warn that if the impasse continues, it could significantly disrupt holiday travel and in November. Venezuela territories. USA diplomatic talks with Venezuela have been suspended, suggesting a growing likelihood of a potential military action against the Maduro regime. America faces foreign aid. The US is increasing pressure on other nations by threatening to strip funding from aid projects that include diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives, a move critics argue will harm global health and destabilize development partnerships. Now to Asia and Indo-Pacific. High-level diplomacy instability. The diplomatic focus in Asia on major state visits and continued regional instability. China-North Korea visit. China Premier Li Qiang is set to lead a high-level delegation to Pyongyang for an official goodwill visit for October 9th to October 11th. The trip is timed to coincide with the 8th anniversary celebration of the Workers' Party of Korea and aims to strengthen strategic communication between the two traditional allies. UK-India Summit. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer arrived in India with a 100-member delegation of CEOs and industry leaders for a two-day visit. The visit is intended to build a recently signed trade deal and navigate shared political concerns, particularly related to the Trump administration trade policies. South Asia instability. Stafford intelligence noted that widespread discontent over corruption and economic mismanagement is fueling movement that demand greater accountability across South Asia, pointing to a broader trend of political instability in the region. Japan's leadership change. Conservative political Sen Takaichi is set to become Japan's next prime minister, though the immediately faces challenges from coalition cracks and opposition threats. Europe, Africa, energy security and political turmoil. Energy security dialogue. The 8th Vienna Energy Security Dialogue is underway with over 250 experts discussing how to fortify energy security against geopolitical uncertainties and sophisticated cybersecurity attacks targeting the energy sector. French political crisis. Political crisis in France deepens as another prime minister resigns, signaling continued turmoil in the region's leadership. US pressure on EU tariffs. The EU is increasing pressure on the European Union regarding its sustainability rules amidst a fragile tariff deal. African conflict spots. Burkina Faso. The military junta has arrested NGO workers, including foreigners, on charge of espionage. Mali, Ukraine. Reports suggest that Tuareg rebels from Mali are allegedly receiving discreet training in Ukraine. So, my dear YouTube subscribers and fans, but also supporters and family, we thank you for listening to World Geopolitical World Tour News on October 8th, 2025. Have a wonderful time, everybody. Ciao.